All right, welcome back to the Elias Macco Show. Now, the race to lead the Quebec Liberal Party, hey, it's winding down. Voting is going to happen between June 9th and June 14th. 5 candidates vying to become the next leader of the Quebec Liberal Party. Today, we speak to Mario Roy, an economist and a farmer from Beauce, bringing a fresh perspective to the Quebec Liberal leadership campaign. And we've asked Mario to come on the show, Monsieur Roy, to come on the show to the show today with bold ideas. That's been the theme of our interviews over the last week. No cliches. We want real solutions to Quebec's biggest challenges. Mario Roy joins us now on Zoom. Hi, Mario. Monsieur Roy, welcome to the show.
Hi, thank you very much for the invitation.
So, what's your big bold idea? Your number one big bold idea that you think defines your campaign?
Well, I started my campaign with one idea, one proposition that is completely different from the other, and that's going to be the number one that I'm bringing you today. I'm suggesting to nationalize residence for older people. And why? The reason is that over the past decades, and I'm talking for about years, we've lost a number of residences for older people all over the regions. And I'm talking about the Beauce, but all over Quebec. And I'm talking about Beauce, about Quebec City. We've seen a lot of residences that have been closing over the past year. And I'm suggesting to nationalize them for 2 reasons. One, we need to keep residences all over Quebec to make sure that older people can stay closer with their family, closer to their family until they get to like all their life, basically. And we want people to stay closer to their family to make sure that they can stay in their region. And that's one of the reasons why I'm suggesting it. So we need to keep them open. And the second reason is to open more when we see a lack of residences all over Quebec.
And obviously the population is aging, and I think you're speaking to a lot of people when you talk about some of those issues. But I do have to mention this because, you know, the voting is very interesting for the Quebec Liberal Party leadership race. And there's an outside share going to the youth wing of the party, right? So, you know, I'm wondering, you know, if that may not be something that would resonate with a younger member of the party, and if there's something that you would say that you're offering for that youth wing and for younger members of the Quebec Liberal Party.
Well, honestly, I've been clear with the younger people in the party. I'm 31 years old. As Robert Bourassa did in the past, I want to have a clear and big place for young people in the government as MP or minister. So that I've been clear about it. But in terms of proposition, like we need to have a vision for the future of the party. What I'm suggesting to the members and what will be on the campaign for 2026 is based on a vision for the Quebec. It's not based on the percentage of people voting for the party. So it's pretty clear. Of course, I understand your reasoning about the fact that yes, the younger people have a bigger place in the race in terms of voting, but I'm confident that they will see the vision in what I'm suggesting, and they will come in. Of course, I have a number of other propositions.
Well, listen, I think it is interesting that you're looking towards the vision and the platform to win in a general election, which will happen next year, of course. I guess a part of that is the Liberal Party Quebec needs to reconnect with Quebecers in the regions, also needs to reconnect with Francophones. What's your vision there, your idea there to accomplish that?
Another big things, another really important thing that is happening right now is to having access to healthcare services. And you know, I'm coming from the Beauce. I know the reality of the region, and for the party, it's clear that we, of course, we need to reconnect to the people of the region, to the francophone. And to do this, we need to bring solutions to what they really care about. And healthcare services is one of the big issue happening right now, especially the far you get from the cities, the more the higher is the difficulties to get services. And I'm suggesting, as the Collège des Médecins, the doctor association is if I may uh, translate it that way,
Yep.
is suggesting is to bring back people from the private sector to the public healthcare sector, because right now the public healthcare sector is getting destroyed by people leaving the sector, and I can understand this because they have uh, better working condition and basically
So
in the
how are you
private.
going to get them back?
We need to have a leadership from the provincial party, as they have done for the people finishing their studies, and they are asking them to stay in the public healthcare sector for 5 years. I'm telling to all people, as we have done by Robert Bourassa when we created that system, public healthcare system, we created it for simple reason to make sure that everybody receive their healthcare service, no matter where they're from, no matter how much money they have. And that's one of the reasons why I'm in the race, is to make sure that we save that public healthcare system. And to do this, we need to first bring people back to the system. Because if we want to do a surgery, we need that the peoples.
Yep.
If they leave, there's no way we can solve it. So right now, the CAC government is trying to basically resolve an issue, but they are not looking at the sources of the problem, which is people leaving. So I'm suggesting, and I'm the only one in the race, to bring back people in the public healthcare system and make sure that everybody has a doctor, a family doctor.
We're wrapping up here with Maury Ottawa, who's running for the leadership of the Quebec Liberal Party. Monsieur Ottawa, seniors care, health care, these are costly things. You're going to need revenues to pay for that. You're an economist. You've got this farming background. What is your bold idea on fixing Quebec's economy to make us a wealth and prosperous place that can pay for social programs?
Yes, that's a really important question. We need to reduce paperwork, bureaucratic bureaucracy in general in the government, to make sure that we have public services that are efficient first. And second, we need to create wealth. As an economist, as you said, we need to create wealth. And in order to do this, we have natural resources that we need, obviously, as population. As Quebecers, we need natural resources. I'm suggesting to take them in the here instead of importing them to create wealth. But in order to create wealth for the government and to pay for our services, I'm suggesting to nationalize natural gases instead of importing them, because right now there's some conversation about the fact that we should look at a project, and I'm open to it, because everything that is consumed here should be transformed and produced here. That's my vision. But in order to create that wealth for the government, the money needs to stay to the Quebecers. And in order to do this, we need to nationalize natural gases. That's one thing that I'm suggesting, to make sure that we have money and that money stays to the Quebecers. And I'm also suggesting to have remove the interprovincial barriers and have a real collaboration with the federal government about everything that is related to natural resources. And, we have the opportunity right now with the federal government. They are just waiting for us. We need to collaborate to make sure that we have projects that will be beneficial for the Quebec, but for the entire Canada. And by the way, I'm suggesting also to sign the Quebec Constitution, which I'm the only one, again, to do it. The collaboration with the federal government is crucial if we want to have a Quebec that functionate within Quebec and with the rest of Canada, because that's basically essential. And there's no reason why we shouldn't have signed this constitution until now.
Well, Monsieur Roy, you certainly have brought up a few things that set you apart from the other people you're running against. Thanks for adding your voice to our show this morning.
Thank you very much again for the invitation.
So Mario Roy right there, running for the leadership of the Quebec Liberal Party. And again, that voting runs from June 9th to 14th, if you're a member of the party.